ready? It's the Roundtable with me, Robert Bannon. Well, hello, everybody. Welcome to another Friday right here on the Broadway World Roundtable exclusive. I'm so honored and excited to be here with you all. This one's really personal for me. This is a very personal chat. I'm very proud to be a teaching artist at the New Jersey Performing Arts Center. I'm very proud to teach my students here in North Bergen, New Jersey. And I am always asked about recommendations for acting school or musical theater school or where to sing or where to be. Well, if you're looking for a conservatory program, if you're looking for a place to be a good actor, like a real deal artist, then I can't recommend William Esper enough. I'm a proud graduate of the William Esper Conservatory, and Barbara Marchant was my teacher. But William Esper and his wife, Suzanne, had the most influential and important acting school literally in this city that taught the Meisner technique. Michael Esper, their son, is a superstar of Broadway TV and film. He is a role model to me and many actors out here. He brings the real deal, and he's inappropriate right now on Broadway, and he is a tour de force. I didn't know anything about Esper. I didn't know anything about acting school. I didn't know anything about Meisner. I was 32 years old. I was going through a very bad, tumultuous time in my life, and some friends recommended it, and it changed my life. And I wouldn't be where I am today without William Esper, without Barbara Marchant, and without the team of people that work there and my classmates. You need to know more about it, and we need to know more about Michael Esper, and we need to go see Appropriate and see that technique in practice. Transferred over to the Belasco. So exciting. But Sarah Paulson, are you kidding? Acting, people. Michael Esper is here. Take a peek. Well, when we started this collaboration with BroadwayWorld, I knew that there was a couple of people that I needed to speak to. And on my list, very personally and selfishly, I may say, Michael Esper was on the list. I'm a proud graduate of Esper. I think his father and his mother are the epitome, the highest brow of acting you can get in New York City. And Michael is one heck of an actor, singer. He does everything. How do we do TV and musicals and plays? Come on, Michael Esper. I'm going to pay for the extra course where you teach me all the secrets. Michael Esper, welcome to the round table.
Oh my God. Thank you for that incredible introduction.
No, firstly, hello, New Jersey and New York and this tri-state area. You are someone who grew up in this area.
Yes.
And as did I. And theater, I'm a Bergen County boy here. And theater and art seems to live in this area. What was it like for you growing up? You have an artistic family. When did you discover you had the bug?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's really hard to say because, you know, my father was teaching and directing. My mother was also teaching from when I was born. So some of my earliest memories are like, you know, at my father's productions, backstage, walking around at that theater at Rutgers, where I ended up going to school, where he taught and directed, and you know, like my father's production of Hamlet, or you know, or like my mom acting in a play and her taking me backstage and showing me like, this is where I jump out of the window in this scene, and this is the mattress I land on. This is George, he helps me up, you know. So it's like we're sitting in the office while their classes are going on. All that stuff is just really, I mean, those are some of my earliest memories, you know?
Well, we're going to talk about all of your work in a moment, but I would be remiss to say I wouldn't be doing this show. I wouldn't be any of the artist that I am without your father and your mother. And my personal teacher, which is the one and only, the queen, Barbara Marchant, who is
Marchant, my teacher too.
My teacher as well. So I'm ready to do a Spoon River and nursery rhyme and all of the. If you want to grab the book, if you're an aspiring actor, the book, The Actor's Art and Craft, is out. And of course, you know, Esper Studios is in New York. I was there the last year that your father was a part of it. If you see this picture of one of his last workshops, I'm right there next to Barbara. My head is a little bit hidden. And I'm the person I am today, thanks to your family and the sacrifices that you all made to teach the technique that you taught. So thank you.
Oh man, thank you so much. It's such a beautiful, that's such a beautiful thing to say. Thank you.
It is the truth. So and thanks, shout out to Eden Espinosa for recommending me to come to William Esper and saying,
shout out Eden, shout out Lempica.
Shout out Lempica out on Broadway now. You're both on Broadway doing Meisner up and down and left and right. What when you started working professionally, How was that journey for you? You graduated from Rutgers. You're an actor, and what do you consider your first professional big moment? What was the moment that you said, "Okay, this might be my career"?
God, it was a really slow and steady kind of process for me. Like, I got out of theater. I didn't come out like shot out of a cannon or anything. Like, I really worked slowly. It took me a little while. It took me about a year to get a job, and that was at a New Jersey Shakespeare Festival. It was like either Solari or Solani. It was like Merchant of Venice there. And then I got another job at Trinity Rep. After that, I started working regionally, a little bit, and then so there was like a series of breakthroughs. I was like, oh, I got some regional theater jobs, and then I got my first job in New York, which was just like a tiny part in this A.R. Gurney play at Lincoln Center called Big Bill, and then slowly, like those parts got bigger. I started working at other theaters in New York, and then I got my first TV job. I got a Law and Order. I got like a pilot, like slowly over years. And then there were like a series of like holy shit kind of moments, like American Idiot was a huge moment. Being in the room with Kushner was a huge moment for me. And working with Sting and with Bowie and doing Glass Menagerie on the West End, and then working with Danny Boyle on Trust. And it's just been like that, like a series of sort of building blocks with a lot of incredible moments sort of squished in.
Have you always been into music? Because you're not, you've done television, you've done film, you're in a play right now. Appropriate is out at the Belasco Theatre. You need to go grab your tickets and see them acting their faces off 8 shows a week. But have you always been, has music always been a love of yours? Because you're not just doing play, like you're a sing, you sing up and down.
Yeah. I mean, I sing in like a very particular sort of like venue. You know what I mean? Like I can sing in a certain way. I can't sing like Eden, you know what I mean? Or some like that. They're like, if I'm in a room with like real legit Broadway singers, I get nervous. but music was always a big deal to me and to my family. My mom was a stunning singer. She almost became an opera singer. She studied opera when I was a kid, and my grandfather was a singer, and my sister is an incredible musician and singer. She's in a band. And so it's always meant a lot to me. I've always like written and played music, and but I wasn't sure I'd find a home in musicals at all. And it just didn't seem like somewhere my particular like voice and like skill set would fit. It seemed like it required something else. So it was shocking to me. Really.
If you're putting together a rock and roll musical, I mean, now they look for the Michael Esper type. I mean, you have created a lane. Like you are if I'm a rock star, I'm calling you.
Well, that's very lucky. That's very flattering and lucky.
For the people out here that are musical theater students, I teach at New Jersey Performing Arts Center in Newark. They ask me all the time, musical theater sometimes gets a reputation that the acting can come third. We sing, we dance, and then we act and tell a story. How do you, through your technique and through your years of work, how do you merge those worlds together where you're telling a story, but also making sure you're on pitch and singing the melody?
Yeah, it is. It's its own particular challenge for sure. And there is, I think you really just want to allow, I mean, I am an actor. I'm an actor first, so I'm always thinking about the scene. I'm thinking about the song as a piece of acting, almost primarily, and then you just want to allow the two things to inform one another. I think to think about the acting and the singing of a song as being two sort of separate things is a little dangerous, is not totally helpful. Like the things that go on in the song stylistically, technically, they'll inform the acting of the song. They are informing your intention. You can learn about how to act a song you should learn about how to act a song from what's going on with the song technically, especially if it's really well written. You know, the more well written the song is, the more it can teach you about how it should be acted.
See,
Um,
the clues are in the text. It
yeah.
all goes back. It all goes back to learning and your technique for sure. No matter what you're doing, that's what I say. A song is like a monologue. Break it down.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. And there's music and language in the same way. The musicality of someone's writing, a certain playwright's writing, will inform your acting choices, inform the way you um, break down a piece of text. It's the same thing with a piece of music. The way the phrasing is built can teach you a lot about the thought, and intention of the character in that moment, or the way a certain feeling is building, or what you're building towards, or holding back, and all that stuff. You learn all that stuff from even from just the sound from the music itself.
Well, you talk about the writing and the rhythm and the playwright or the songwriter. Well, what you're doing right now in Appropriate definitely has a style and a writing and
Mhm.
Brandon Jacob Jenkins and this piece. I know as an actor you dream that this will live. It had a run and people have loved it and have been moved that you guys are moved and extended, and here we are, Broadway Part 2.
Yeah.
What has this journey been like for you?
I mean, it's very wild. It is. It's really. It's very dreamy, very wild, very, very unbelievable. It's just like such. It's very crazy that you would do a play that you love so much, with people that you love so much, who are also so incredible at their jobs, and and then it connects with people, and that kind of like perfect storm just doesn't come around that often. So it's been a very, very satisfying, thrilling kind of ride.
And your character Franz and the brother and the family dynamic, I
Yeah.
think it's entertaining, and we could all take a little piece, no matter where you are from. I mean, you don't have to be from down south to find a little piece of a family drama.
No, definitely not. Definitely not. You can be from anywhere, I think.
What has it been like in terms of this cast and this creative team? It's a very intimate show. You have to have a lot of trust in this cast to work in the way that you do. How is that achieved through the rehearsal process now to be on stage?
Well, that's such a good question. I mean, I think it happens like it happens in almost all relationships where you learn it from the people you're working with. The trust and how to trust them, how to listen to them, you learn it together. And uh, just by doing it and showing up and being present with them and investigating with them and being alive to what they're doing. And over time, these things start to come up and get sustained, and you learn about how you relate to one another, and you throw away the ones that feel inappropriate and you lean into the ones that feel like they're in the pocket, and it's a wonderful thing. And when you're working with people who are as good as the people I'm getting to work with are, like Sarah and Corey and Natalie and Grandma's, like everybody in the show is just so skilled. You don't have to talk about it too much. I mean, we talked a lot about a lot of stuff, but you don't have to talk too much about the relationships. When the writing, it's also so much of it is in the writing. Brandon's writing is so good, and yeah, it's a really fun thing to sort of discover with them.
Well, when people are here, appropriateplay.com is where you can go to get your tickets. It's at the Belasco, so you can get your seats and make sure you check. It's a it is a night and a conversation after you see the play that
Yeah.
you should have. So go bring somebody and have a good old watch the tour de force performance. Is there a preparation for you every night? Is it become like it's 30 minutes and you just put on the costume, or do you build a world? How does it work when you do something over and over again, where it's not just one day on a set, where you're doing this day in and day out?
Yeah, I think like the body is a crazy thing. Like the way the body and the mind work, we're so associative. And so I think over time you do a lot of work up front, and then over time, you start to go through the rituals of getting ready to do the show, which are just like you do the warm up, you go back to your room, you start to put the costume on. I might put a couple pieces of music on, a couple songs that I like to listen to or whatever. You think about the top of the play, just touch in on a little bit, and just stuff starts to happen. Like you just like put on the shirt, start to get ready, and already you start to feel like the world's starting to come. And then, very poor, we have this incredible soundscape in the show. The sound design in the show is really like staggeringly good. It's really kind of a character in of itself. I know that's such a cliche to say, but it really is sort of talked about that way, and you feel it there. And so then, I'm like backstage with Ella getting ready to go on, and I hear that sound of the cicadas starting to roar, and just talking about it, what I mean? Like it just starts to happen.
It's really so good to watch. And if you love acting or you love storytelling, this is the show that you need to run and check out and go see for sure. How do your career is so fascinating to me. You gigantic commercial, movies, film, television. You have big, gigantic musicals, Broadway shows, plays, and then we could see you downtown. We could see you off Broadway. We could see you in a regional production. What is it? The story? I'm sure it's not money. I'm sure it's not all that.
Sometimes it's money. Look, sometimes it's money. Sometimes you just need a job. You know what I mean? But mostly. Yeah, it's, I don't know, man. I feel really lucky, and I've gotten to bounce around a lot. I'm a kind of restless person.
Yeah.
And so I do get hungry for the other experience if I'm doing one of the things for too long, if I've just like been doing plays, or if I'm just doing a lot of TV or whatever, I get itchy for the other thing.
Yeah.
And it's a great thing about being in New York. There's like so many different kinds of work like available to us if you can get it. And, sometimes I'm in a position where I'm able to be pickier, and sometimes, I'm just like looking for something to come, and then being like, oh, thank God I got a job, like most actors. But I've been really lucky, and also, taught, I think, not to turn away too hard from different kinds of experiences, like even things that are scary for me, or I might think that I might be bad at, for better or worse, you know what I mean? Like musicals, like I wouldn't have gotten to do those musicals or get to work on musicals if I had listened to that part of myself initially that, didn't want to go to that audition, because I thought this is going to be a disaster,
And look, the playbill bio reads very differently. It makes me, when you say that, it makes me think of a very controversial class with Barbara, where she said, once you've played the type, the Law and Order, perp, you can let that go and find another artistic piece. And the students were like, but we need to pay our bills and we need to work. He said, there are jobs. You can be in a play, you can be in a television show, and the artist that you are, it shows through that work. You've been so versatile in your career. It's very inspiring to other.
Thank you. Wow, thanks.
Before we let you go, I want to say some of my favorite TV film quick moments, like this walk down memory lane. Yeah. Everyone, this is Michael in A Beautiful Mind, which was one of your first film TV credits.
That was my first movie, I think. Yeah. A very small part, but it was wild. Everyone was so nice. Ron Howard was so nice. Russell Crowe was so nice. It was crazy.
Oscar winning right from the get. Yeah, just go for it. And then I'm a big sucker for Nurse Jackie, and I love and I also love The Family. They shows that acting and writing at its best, and you being a part of it. How is acting different for TV and film versus stage? Do you show up with the same kind of toolbox, even though the medium's different?
Yeah, it is different. Because the process, the main difference to me is not even in the performance as much as it is in the process. I mean, the performance is different. You know, the size is different. You can play, I think, a little. You know, you can play a little more intimately, obviously, but because television works so fast, typically, I mean, it's different. Prestige TV, it can be different, but it's really all about speed most of the time on a television set, and so you're working with people who are working very quickly and want to block things very fast. They may have their setups already built often, so it's not like they're coming to you right away and being like, "So, what do you think? How should we do this scene? You want to maybe? What do you think? We maybe go over here." Like, oftentimes, people want answers quickly, and it's good to come in with a couple strong versions of what you're thinking about doing. And then with a lot of flexibility, you know, I like to have like a few versions of the scene, a few ideas about how it could go already, some physical ideas about what I'd like to be doing, where I'd like to be, and then a willingness to just throw it all away immediately if that's not what's getting presented to me in the room, you know?
It's so exciting. That's what's
it's really fun.
It's so much fun and it's so exciting. That's what makes it fun to be an actor, for sure.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see this show continue. I'm sure we're going to see you all through this award season. This show is so bananas good.
Yeah, it's good. I'm glad you like it. Thank you.
I'm so excited for people to come down and check it out and see the show. And now that it's got a longer life, you could get a ticket because y'all are a hot ticket. You guys were a hot ticket.
Yeah, it was tough at the Haze. But we're good.
Get a seat. Come on down and see the show. Do you plan? Are you someone who knows? Like, do you have an idea? Do you say now it's time for me to do TV film? Are you ready for just the right project? Are you ready to audition? Like, how do you plan after this? Do you live in the moment? What does Michael Esper do?
Yeah, there are things sort of on the horizon that I sort of loosely am I'm sort of waiting to see what happens with them, thinking about them, you know, and then other than that, just taking it as it comes. With the sort of things that are coming my way. But in terms of whether or not it's television or film or another play, I'm not. I don't have my heart set one way or the other. I just want to love it. You know, I just like really want to love the material.
Well, next, if I ever see you in person, I'm going to say, I need to see your script. I want to see it marked up. I want to see some actions. I want to see some circumstances.
Anyway, man, let's talk about it. Let's break it down.
I want to break it down with you.
Let's go.
I may bring some crazy glue and a broken plate and may do some repetition.
Oh, see it in my nightmares. See those broken plates and stuff in my nightmares. Wake up in a cold sweat.
That's same with me. I want to hear your knock on the door and feel the feeling that knock gives me. All of the things that.
Oh my God, take me back. Yeah.
You everyone, make sure you check out Michael Esper right now on Appropriate. Get your tickets. Go get your tickets at appropriateplay.com. And if people out here ask about where to go if you want to study to be an actor, not to be a influencer, not to be a TikTok star, but you want to be an actor and get up on stage or on a set and do the work, this family right here is this is it in New York City. Can you please send love to your mom and please send love to everybody? And
I will so much. I will.
It is such an honor to talk to you. I am so proud to be an Esper alum, and I'm so honored to talk to you.
Thank you so much. What a joy. Thank you.
Very moved, very moving experience for me to talk to Michael, because those 2 years are very important to me and the artist that I am. So support art today, no matter where you go to school, no matter where you are in this country. Like Inappropriate, you could be down south, or you could be up here in New York, New Jersey, or you could be on the West Coast or overseas, wherever you are. There's art being made. There's music being made. There's dramatic writing being written. There's books and movies and plays. Go support it locally. If that's Broadway, or if that's the community theater down the street, or your high school production, go support art and artists today. They are literally what makes the world go round. Gives us joy, makes us think, and sees something beautiful to look at. Shout out to Esper, shout out to Michael Esper, and shout out to everybody who made this happen. Congrats to you all for a beautiful show. And if you want to watch more of this every Friday right here on Broadway World, or you could check me out at robertbannon.com, or you can check out the Roundtable every single day over at the Broadway Podcast Network. Go to BroadwayPodcastNetwork.com or follow me, Robert M. Bannon, over on Instagram. It's so great to be here with you. I look forward to the next time. Thank you, everybody. The best is yet to come. See you then. Bye-bye.